All new at 10 o'clock, Lost History beneath the long grass and hills, searching for unmarked and missing graves, trying to unravel a family story. That's the mission of college professors now on in Western North Carolina.
Fox Carolina's Zach Prelutsky was with the team as they used 21st century technology to help find stories from the past.
Just about every cemetery that you can think of has some section or some portion where they know the people are buried there, but they don't know who they are. The graves have at least lost their markings, or markings were damaged, or the headstones were removed.
Blair Tormey is on a decade-long mission.
These are relatively newer coffins from within the last 50 years or so.
The geologist at Western Carolina University searches for history 6 feet under the ground.
It's kind of a sobering process as you're going through. It's often, I'm usually one of the only people out in the space at the time. It's usually kind of solitary.
Tormey uses a method he learned while working with oil companies.
My specialty is ground penetrating radar.
It looks like a lawnmower, sending radar waves into the ground. If those waves find an object, or in Tormey's case, a coffin, they bounce back up to his antenna. So far, Blair has found more than 200 graves. 60 at the Davidson River Cemetery in Transylvania County, North Carolina, where John Kaiser and Kate Nicolation serve on the board.
Started out that one of the guys on the board and myself was wondering how many people are actually physically buried in here.
This community cemetery has been around since the early 19th century.
It just started out as a small community cemetery, and it has just, that's what it's always been.
We like to honor the people that in the county that have passed, and if we can find out more about them, then that's what we're all about.
Most of Tormey's work revolving around what he calls an underrepresented group.
There's just an abundance of African American cemeteries that have been poorly mapped through their history.
Even finding 27 unmarked graves in one private cemetery in Hayesville on a former plantation.
In this area lie the remains of African American slaves whose identities and contributions are known but to God.
A local historian finding descendants of those who worked on that land.
The freedom they never knew in life, they found in death.
This was someone's son or daughter. They lived a life, they walked the earth here, they had a whole story.
The exact number of those buried under the ground without proper markings will likely never be known. But Tormey wants to find as many as he can.
As long as this machine is working, I'll keep doing it.
In Transylvania County, Zach Prelutsky for Fox Carolina News.